Hello, YouTube. Today I have a different episode. We're going to be walking through the woods, but it's snowing. It's snowing outside, and I don't really know what to talk about today. But I knew for a fact that I wanted to record in the snow because there's not a lot of opportunities where I'm from. It rarely snows, and it only snows some certain times. But thank God that today I have the privilege of being able to walk in the snow and enjoy this moment and get to share this experience with you guys. So I'm just going to be walking through, enjoying nature, enjoying the snow, and kind of giving you guys my opinion and my thoughts about life. I know sometimes life has its ups and downs, and that's normal. It's normal for us to feel super happy one day and then super sad another day, because things happen. Things happen, and life can't be always perfect. If life was perfect, then we would live in a perfect society. Well, I like to think about life as the ultimate video game. You have your body, which is your avatar. You can't really control your body, but you can control how it looks. You can control the software you want to portray. Like, for example, if you have a personality that you're not very proud of, I just want you to know that you don't have to stick with that reality. Reality is bend. You could bend reality, and you don't have to be that character that society has assigned you. I think that was one of the biggest eye openers, was that I get to pick the character that I want. I get to pick if I'm smart. I get to pick if I'm strong. I get to pick if I'm successful. So in order for you to understand that, I'm gonna give you an example. When I was little, I absolutely hated reading out loud. I hated reading out loud. It was my worst nightmare, because I remember one time, I speak two languages, so I was in the learning process of developing both of the languages. So I was good at both of them, but my concept was still being matured. So I had a little bit of struggle reading and writing in both languages. But one time I remember one of my third grade teachers, she made me read out loud. And I remember stuttering and feeling embarrassed, and my face was red, and I saw everybody, and it was like a parent day, and all the parents were just looking at me, and my mother wasn't there because she was always working. Thank God for everything she gave me. She's a hardworking woman. And I just remember feeling hopeless, feeling ashamed. And I just saw my third grade teacher in the corner, kind of enjoying it. She was kind of an evil little lady. She was an old lady, so she was probably raised in those evil times of segregation. But I could tell that she was enjoying my suffering. And there, I got traumatized. And I swear that I was never going to read, that I couldn't wait to finish high school or school in general, so I'd never had to read and write again. And I started building that identity that I sucked at reading and I sucked at writing. So anytime I was confronted with those two things, I would repulse and I would hate it. And I built this identity, and I thought it was me. This is what I'm telling you. You could create yourself at any point. recreate yourself. You don't have to be the person that society tells you have to be. Because I learned how to love reading. I learned how to love writing. And now I would argue that those are my favorite hobbies, is reading and writing. I discovered them once I graduated. I thought I was never going to read and write again. And I just became interested in books of learning the law of attraction, The Secret, becoming supernatural. And I just started to read and observe the energy. And that's when I found out that knowledge was power. And I almost thought that that teacher never wanted me to truly find out what knowledge was, because I believe that knowledge is what makes us all equal. So maybe that teacher was trying to keep that away from me by putting me on the spot, because she knew my reading abilities back then. She knew. And out of all the students, she chose me. But this is what I'm saying. You don't have to be the person that society has made you believe you are. You could change. You could become anybody you want to be. It's going to take effort because it's something new. But if you truly believe it, you just have to keep going. I also remember when I was a little fat kid. I was really fat when I was little in middle school. And I always thought I was going to be the fat little kid. I would envision in my mind picture of my older self being fit. But during that time, I felt like I was stuck until I started to grow up and see that I had control of my decisions and what to put in my body, that I started to reshape my identity as the fit guy. I am no longer a fat little kid. I am a strong, muscular man that runs, that lifts, that studies, that reads, that writes. And just how I conquered my biggest fear of reading and writing, you can also recreate yourself. I'm very proud of that 13-year-old me that took his PlayStation 3, saw that it was a distraction, sold it to become better, to start losing weight. I want to tell you this story because I'm actually very proud of my younger self for doing this. When I was younger, I used to be obsessed with this game called FIFA. And in this game, there was this new mode called Pro Player. And you could create your own avatar, put them through missions. That looks like a little fox cave, not gonna lie. Maybe there's some coyotes out here, I don't know. Maybe some wolves, I don't know. But maybe I shouldn't go too deep. But I remember there was this feature where you could create your own pro player, level up his stats by putting him through training, by buying him new cleats, by putting him in different teams, by playing matches over and over and over and over. Slowly your player starts to become a level 70, a level 80, a level 90. And I started to see how this virtual player that was me was literally transforming and evolving in front of my eyes. I was 13 years old in middle school. And I started to notice that what if I did the same thing? What if I focused on my training? What if I focused on my reading? What if I focused on my writing day by day, just like I was focusing on my virtual player to become better every day? And that's when I realized the compound effect. At age 13, I remember I knew deep inside of me that selling my PlayStation 3 was going to be the best decision I ever made, because I started to see how my virtual player got better each time I would log in. And I was like, what if life is the ultimate video game? What if I start focusing on my skills, every day. Will I see results? So I sold my PlayStation 3 for $300. This was when the PlayStation 3 was fairly still new. I took those $300, and honestly, I forgot what I did with them. But it's the fact that I was 13. I let go of instant gratification, which was my PlayStation 3, which anybody at that time, anybody would have been thrilled to have a PlayStation 3, especially being 13 years old. So I sold my PlayStation 3, I got my cones out, I got my soccer ball, and I started training and training and training. I started seeing how my level was also increasing. I was taking on people, I was cutting people, and I was really chubby still. But I saw how me focusing on the small details over and over and over and over made a huge difference on my colleagues, on my peers, on my teammates that were focused on video games. So what I mean is that you could change too. Take my lessons from my younger self. You don't have to be what the person reality has told you you are. You are the creator of your own reality. Always remember that. If you want to wake up tomorrow and be a famous YouTuber, you can be. You just have to practice every single day. You gotta try, you gotta try, you gotta try. Even if it means failing, you gotta try. Because that's the only way you can get better. It's by trying over and over and over. It's by logging into the game over and over and over. But this is the real game. This is the game that matters the most. It's life. Remember, guys, follow your dreams. Follow your heart. Because you truly only live once. Always do the hard work. Never, absolutely never forget to win. Peace.